Stop everything for a moment and answer me honestly. Where are you right now? Which country are you in? And what time is it in your world at this very second? Yes, right now. Pause and feel it. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, your energy is listening. Your heart is listening. And this message, what I am about to share with you, will reach you exactly where you are in this very moment. Think about this. How many times have you returned to someone, somewhere, or something that ignored you, hoping that this time it would be different, but it never was? How many times have you given your energy, your time, your heart, only to be unseen, unheard, or dismissed? If you feel that pain, that emptiness, that quiet disappointment, stay with me. This hour is going to change the way you see yourself, your worth, and your life. By the end, you will finally understand why returning to what ignored you only drains your energy, and how to reclaim your presence, your peace, and your freedom. So tell me, which country are you in, and what time is it there? Keep that in mind as you listen, because what I am about to show you will touch you exactly where you are, in your life, in your energy, in your very being. Miss it, and the patterns continue. Watch it fully, and your life begins to shift. Do not return where you were ignored. Do not return to places, people, or situations where your presence was ignored. Think about it. Every time you go back, you are stepping into the same emptiness you experienced before. Every smile you gave, every word you shared, every effort you made was not seen, not appreciated. And yet you feel drawn to go back, hoping something will be different, but it rarely is. Life is a mirror. The energy you give flows back to you, but only when it is met with recognition, respect, and care. Returning to someone or somewhere that ignored you is like pouring water into a cracked cup. It disappears, leaving you empty and drained. You must see that your presence is sacred. You are not meant to shrink yourself, to wait silently, or to beg for attention from those who cannot or will not see you. Your time, your energy, your heart, these are precious. When you give them to places that do not honor you, you are giving away what should stay with you, to grow, to heal, to blossom. Every moment spent there is a moment of your life lost, and no one can give that time back. Freedom comes when you stop returning. Freedom is realizing that you do not need permission to exist, to shine, to be acknowledged. When you choose not to go back, you choose yourself. You choose your peace, your growth, your happiness. You break the cycle of pain and step into a life where your energy is respected. Recognize this pattern now. Notice the pull to go back, the temptation to hope, the silent voice that says, maybe this time will be different. That voice is not your friend. It is the echo of old hurt. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to protect yourself. And when you do not leave behind failure. You leave behind what was never meant for you. You make space for what will see you, appreciate you, and reflect your worth. This is not arrogance. This is wisdom. This is the first step toward true peace. The first step toward understanding that your energy is sacred, your presence matters, and your life is too precious to give to those who cannot honor it. Your worth is inherent. Your worth is not something that others give to you. It does not depend on someone noticing you, praising you, or even acknowledging your presence. Too often, we measure ourselves by how others respond, by the attention we receive, by the recognition that may or may not come. But this is a trap. Zen teaches that the value of a tree is not measured by the birds that sit on its branches or the flowers that bloom around it. A tree is valuable because it exists, because it grows, because it brings life to the air, the soil, and the world. You are the same. Your existence alone is enough. Even if no one notices, even if no one speaks, even if the world seems silent toward you, your worth remains. You do not have to prove yourself, compete for attention, or beg for acknowledgement. Every breath you take, every thought you have, every step you walk carries the energy of your existence. This energy is not small, it is not weak, it is sacred. When you constantly seek approval from those who cannot give it, you lose yourself. You bend, shrink, and dim your light. You give away pieces of your energy in hopes that someone, somewhere, might see them. But your energy is not a gift to be begged for. It is a force that must be nurtured, respected, and cherished. Returning to places or people that ignore you will not increase your worth. It will only deplete your spirit, leaving you drained and questioning yourself for no reason at all. Zen teaches that true recognition comes from awareness. When you truly see yourself, when you acknowledge your own light, the world cannot diminish it. Your worth is inherent. It is constant. It does not fluctuate based on someone else's perception. No matter how many doors close, no matter how many eyes look past you, you remain valuable. You remain enough. You remain whole. Understanding this is liberation. It is freedom from the endless cycle of seeking validation and being hurt when it does not come. It is the first step toward peace within yourself. Every time you feel unseen or unheard, remember this: your worth does not rise or fall based on others. You are not less because they do not notice you, and you are not more because they do. You are simply yourself, complete and inherent, and that is enough. When you embrace this, your energy shifts. You stop chasing the shadows of acknowledgement. You stop returning to places that ignore you. You stop giving away your presence to those who cannot value it. You stand tall, rooted in yourself, and walk toward spaces that reflect your light back to you. In this recognition, you find freedom. In this acceptance, you find peace. And in this peace, you realize something profound. The world cannot give you worth because it already exists within you. Protect your energy. Your energy is the most precious thing you possess. It is the life force that fuels your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, your very being. Every choice you make, every person you spend time with, every place you go, these all touch your energy. And yet, so often, we give it away without thinking, to people or situations that do not value it, that do not respect it, that cannot see it. We pour ourselves into emptiness and wonder why we feel exhausted, depleted, or unseen. Zen teaches that your energy is sacred. It is not meant to be scattered like sand blown by the wind. When you give it freely to spaces that drain you, you are weakening yourself. You are letting others dictate the rhythm of your life, the brightness of your spirit, and the peace of your mind. Protect your energy. Protect it as you would protect a small flame in the dark. If the wind blows too strongly, it will extinguish. And if you do not guard it, it will be lost, and you will be left cold and empty. Notice where your energy goes. Notice who takes it and whether it is returned. Not everyone deserves your attention, your kindness, or your presence. Some people will absorb it without giving anything back. Some places will demand it without ever giving recognition. This is not your fault, and it is not a sign of weakness to step away. The strength lies in seeing clearly, in understanding that your energy is limited, and in choosing wisely where it flows. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is survival. It is respect for yourself and your life. It is saying silently, I am worth more than to be ignored, drained, or taken for granted. When you stop giving energy to places that do not honor it, you open yourself to experiences and people who will reflect it back. Your kindness is no longer wasted. Your attention is no longer stolen. Your heart no longer bends under the weight of neglect. Zen also teaches that protecting your energy means protecting your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are gentle markers that remind others and yourself where your space begins and ends. Saying no is not rejection. it is recognition of your value. Walking away from people who drain you is not abandonment, it is wisdom. Each step you take in protecting your energy is a step toward clarity, peace, and freedom. The moment you begin to honor your energy, you notice a change. You feel lighter, stronger, more present. You no longer chase people or spaces that diminish you. You no longer return to places that ignored your presence. Your mind becomes calmer, your heart steadier, your life richer. You realize that energy is not infinite. You cannot afford to waste it. And once you treat it as sacred, everything in your life begins to shift. Protecting your energy is a practice, a daily awareness. Notice the small leaks, complaints you absorb, people you try to please, situations you stay in out of habit. Each time you recognize it and make a conscious choice to step away or redirect, you reclaim your life, you reclaim your light, and you send a quiet message to the world. I am here, my energy matters, and I will not give it to what cannot honor it. This is not just self-preservation, this is empowerment. When you protect your energy, you begin to live differently. You attract different people, different situations, and a different kind of life. Your peace grows, your presence is stronger, and slowly, without effort, you step into a world where your energy is respected, your value is recognized, and your life is filled with the people and experiences that truly deserve you. Letting go is strength. Letting go is not weakness. It is not giving up. It is not turning your back on life. Letting go is strength, the quiet, steady kind that does not need to shout to be seen. Zen teaches that attachment is the source of much suffering. We cling to people, to places, to memories, to expectations, thinking that holding on will protect us, or that it will bring the recognition, love, or peace we desire. But clinging only binds us to what no longer serves us, keeping us trapped in cycles of disappointment and pain. Every time you hold on to someone who ignored you, every time you return to a place that dismissed you, every time you expect something from someone who cannot give it, you weigh yourself down. You carry invisible chains that keep your heart heavy, your mind restless, and your spirit small. Letting go is the act of lifting those chains. It is releasing what drains you, so that you may reclaim the energy that is rightfully yours. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean erasing what happened. It does not mean pretending that the past did not hurt. It means acknowledging it, understanding it, and choosing not to let it control your present or dictate your future. When you let go, you are saying to yourself, I honor myself enough to stop giving my power to what diminishes me. This is not rejection of life. It is acceptance of your own value. Zen teaches that the mind often confuses hope with necessity. We hope that things will change, that people will act differently, that recognition will come this time. But hope without awareness is a trap. It keeps us returning, keeps us hurting, keeps us small. Letting go is seeing clearly, with calm eyes, the reality of a situation and deciding to step away. It is the courage to say, I will no longer water a garden that cannot grow my seeds. When you let go, you make space for what is meant for you. The heart that has been stretched thin begins to rest. The mind that has been spinning in cycles of worry and expectation begins to quiet. The soul that has been wandering in search of acknowledgement begins to feel at home within itself. Letting go is not the end, it is the beginning. It is the doorway to freedom, the first step toward life lived on your terms, not on the terms of those who could not see your worth. Letting go is also a practice. It may not happen all at once. Sometimes you must let go a little at a time. A thought, a habit, a person, a place. Each release is a step toward liberation. Each step is a reclamation of your power, and the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You begin to see that life is not about clinging, but about flowing, like water moving effortlessly around obstacles, finding its own path. There is a quiet joy in letting go. It is the joy of knowing you do not have to fight for recognition that was never yours to demand. It is the relief of no longer carrying the weight of others' blindness. It is the peace that comes from standing firmly in your own presence, fully aware that your energy, your heart, and your life are yours to give only to what deserves them. When you let go, you are not losing anything of value. On the contrary, you are gaining everything. You gain clarity, you gain freedom, you gain yourself. And once you step into that space, once you embrace the strength of letting go, you begin to live in a way that is full, alive, and unshakable. You realize that the world cannot give you the peace, recognition, or value you already carry within. Letting go is the path to discovering it for yourself, quietly, steadily, and completely. Others reflect themselves, not you. When someone ignores you, dismisses you, or fails to see your presence, it is not a reflection of your value. It is a reflection of them, their limitations, their fears, their blindness, their inability to recognize what is true and beautiful. Zen teaches that the world is full of mirrors, and not all mirrors reflect you clearly. Some distort, some break, and some simply cannot show your light. It is not your responsibility to fix them, polish them, or bend yourself to fit their reflection. Think about it. How many times have you felt unseen, unappreciated, or dismissed, and taken it personally? How many times have you returned, hoping that this time things would be different? And yet, deep down, nothing had changed, because their blindness was never about you. Their inability to notice, to value, to honor your presence is a reflection of their own world, not your worth. Zen teaches that understanding this is freedom. When you truly realize that others reflect themselves, not you, you stop giving away your energy trying to earn recognition where it cannot exist. You stop questioning your light, your value, or your presence. You no longer let someone else's inability to see you dictate your peace or your joy. You stand firmly in your own reality, fully aware that your worth is inherent and cannot be diminished by the limitations of those around you. When you internalize this truth, a quiet power emerges. You begin to notice who and what nourishes your energy and who or what drains it. You become selective, not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom. You no longer chase acknowledgement from those who cannot see it, because you understand that chasing only keeps you trapped in cycles of disappointment. Instead, you invest yourself where it is mirrored back, where your presence is honored, and where your light has room to shine fully. The people who fail to recognize you are not enemies. They are simply reflections of their own journey, their own blindness, and their own struggles. Zen teaches compassion even in understanding this. You do not need to resent them, argue with them, or explain yourself. Their inability to reflect you is their story, not yours. You are free to continue your path without their influence, without their judgment, without their neglect. When you live with this awareness, life begins to shift in subtle but profound ways. You stop returning to situations that do not see you. You stop shrinking yourself to be noticed. You stop pouring your energy into spaces that cannot honor it. Instead, you direct it intentionally to your growth, to your peace, and to people and places that reflect your value. This awareness is a quiet revolution. It transforms the way you interact with the world. You move from seeking validation to living in the power of your own recognition. In essence, understanding that others reflect themselves and not you is a liberation of your mind, heart, and spirit. It frees you from endless cycles of hope, hurt, and repetition. It allows you to stand tall, rooted in the certainty of your own worth, fully present in the world, and fully open to the spaces that are truly meant for you. You no longer question your light. You no longer chase those who cannot see it. You simply shine, knowing that your reflection does not depend on them, it exists inherently, fully, and perfectly within you. Your path is yours alone. Your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it for you, and no one else can define it. Too often we measure our journey by the expectations, opinions, and recognition of others. We look around to see if we are moving the right way, if people notice us, if our presence is acknowledged. But this is a trap. Zen teaches that every person has their own path, and your journey cannot be compared to anyone else's. What matters is not whether others approve, but whether you are true to yourself, whether you are honoring your own energy, your own purpose, and your own life. Returning to people or places that ignored you is a detour from your path. It pulls you away from your own growth and keeps you trapped in cycles of disappointment. You may feel guilty for walking away or lonely for not being recognized, but remember, your journey is not dependent on their attention. The world cannot dictate your direction, nor can it measure your worth. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving, that you keep walking toward what aligns with your truth, what nourishes your soul, and what respects your presence. Zen teaches that presence is everything. Being fully present in your own life means noticing where your energy is spent and choosing wisely. If you continue to return to spaces that ignore you, you are being absent from yourself. You are giving your attention to someone else's limitations instead of cultivating your own growth. Walking your own path is not selfish. It is not arrogance. It is the most honest, the most sacred act of self-respect you can offer yourself. Your path may be quiet. It may be unseen by others. It may feel lonely at times, but it is yours, and it is sacred. There will be moments when temptation whispers to go back, to seek acknowledgement, to return to familiarity. But familiarity is not growth, and attention from those who ignored you does not equal validation. The real growth happens when you continue forward, even when no one is watching, even when no one notices, even when the world seems silent. Walking your path alone teaches strength, patience, and clarity. You learn to rely on your own inner guidance rather than external approval. You discover the quiet power of making decisions that serve your life, your peace, and your growth. You begin to notice the people, spaces, and experiences that truly belong on your journey, and you learn to move toward them naturally. You stop chasing shadows of acknowledgement and start moving in the direction of light, toward what truly honors your presence. Remember that your life is not meant to be small, compressed, or hidden to fit into someone else's world. Your path is expansive, and your energy deserves to flow freely along it. Every step you take in your own direction is an act of liberation. Every choice to honor your path is an act of courage. And slowly, without effort, your life begins to align with your truth. Zen teaches that when you honor your path, you create a life that is authentic, peaceful, and free. You do not need permission from anyone to walk it. You do not need validation to continue. Your energy, your presence, and your life belong to you, and you alone are responsible for directing them wisely. The world may be indifferent, but your path is alive, sacred, and waiting for you to step fully into it. Walking it with awareness, courage, and intention is one of the greatest freedoms you can experience. Silence speaks louder than words. Silence often speaks louder than words. Many times, the moments that hurt the most are not when someone shouts or argues, but when no one notices, responds, or acknowledges you at all. Zen teaches that silence is not emptiness, it is truth. It is a mirror reflecting the reality that words sometimes cannot convey. When someone ignores you, avoids you, or fails to see your presence, that silence is speaking. It is showing you what is not meant for you, what cannot honor you, and what does not deserve your energy. Too often, we try to fill silence with hope, explanation, or effort. We send messages, we reach out, We return, we wait, believing that something will change. But silence rarely lies. It is steady, patient, and clear. It is one of life's most honest teachers. It whispers that it is time to stop giving your energy where it is not valued. It shows you where your presence is wasted, where your light is unseen, and where your heart will remain unrecognized if you stay. Silence is also a test, not of your patience, but of your awareness. Zen teaches that awareness is the key to liberation. When you notice the quiet, when you observe without clinging or hoping, you begin to see clearly. You realize that your energy is sacred, and you cannot afford to pour it into a void. You understand that those who ignore you are not measuring your worth. They are reflecting their own limitations, their own struggles, and their own inability to recognize what is valuable. Listening to silence requires courage. It asks you to look inward rather than outward, to trust your own judgment rather than seeking signs from others, to move forward even when the world around you seems indifferent. When you honor the lessons in silence, you start to make choices that protect your energy, nurture your growth, and align with your path. You stop returning to places that ignore you, stop hoping for acknowledgement that will not come, and stop bending your life to fit into spaces that cannot hold it. There is a subtle power in embracing silence. In that quiet space, you begin to hear yourself. You feel your own strength, your own value, and your own peace. You discover that being alone or being unseen does not make you less, it makes you aware. It allows you to cultivate a life where your presence is recognized naturally, without begging, without forcing, without compromising your worth. Zen teaches that silence is not punishment. It is guidance. It is the universe gently saying, "This is not your place. This is not your time. Move where your light is reflected, where your presence is honored, and where your energy matters." Understanding silence in this way is liberation. It frees you from distraction, from disappointment, from repeating old patterns of returning to emptiness. It teaches patience, clarity, and discernment. When you truly listen to silence, you begin to notice who and what belongs in your life. You learn to move away from noise that drains you, from voices that distort your worth, and from spaces that cannot reflect your value. In that stillness, you find freedom, you find strength, you find yourself. Silence becomes not a barrier, but a guide, a quiet, patient teacher, showing you the way toward your own peace, your own recognition, and your own life fully lived. Transform neglect into freedom. Choosing not to return to what ignored you is not loss. It is not denial. It is transformation. Zen teaches that every experience, every person, every moment in your life is an opportunity for growth if you meet it with awareness. Neglect, whether it comes from people, places, or situations, can either imprison your heart or guide it toward freedom. The choice is yours. Every time you resist going back, every time you choose to step away from what diminishes you, you reclaim a piece of yourself that was quietly slipping away. Neglect often feels like a wound. It can hurt deeply, leaving you questioning yourself, doubting your worth, or longing for recognition that never comes. Zen teaches that the wound itself is not the enemy. The suffering comes from clinging to it, from returning to the very place that caused it, hoping for something different. When you stop returning, when you finally release the hold of neglect, you transform that wound into a teacher. You learn that your energy, your presence, and your life are too precious to waste on spaces that cannot honor them. Transformation comes in the quiet moments, in the realization that freedom has always been available to you. It comes when you stop pouring your energy into emptiness and start directing it toward what truly matters. It comes when you no longer wait for acknowledgement, approval, or recognition from those who could never give it. Each step away from neglect is a step into a life where your presence is celebrated, your heart is valued, and your energy is mirrored back in abundance. Zen teaches that freedom is not just moving away from what harms you, it is moving toward what nourishes you. It is creating space for people, places, and experiences that honor your light. When you transform neglect into freedom, you are not just escaping suffering, you are embracing life on your own terms. You are choosing yourself over expectation, presence over absence, growth over repetition. You are stepping into a reality where your life is not defined by what others fail to see, but by the awareness, care, and respect you give yourself. Transformation also requires patience. It is not instantaneous. There may be moments when old habits, old hopes, or old wounds tempt you to return. The mind may whisper, "Maybe this time will be different. Maybe they will finally see you." But each time you notice the temptation and choose freedom instead, you strengthen your spirit. You train your heart to recognize what serves you and what does not. You build resilience. You build clarity. You build the understanding that your life is a garden, and your energy is the water and sunlight too precious to waste where it cannot grow. In transforming neglect into freedom, you also discover the quiet joy of presence. You realize that being unseen by some does not make you invisible. It does not make you less. On the contrary, it teaches you to see yourself more clearly, to honor yourself more fully, and to invest in the spaces where your light can truly shine. Every step away from what ignored you is a step toward a life that respects your energy, cherishes your presence, and reflects your worth. Ultimately, transforming neglect into freedom is the highest act of self-love and self-respect. It is the final lesson in understanding that your energy, your life, and your heart are sacred. When you embrace this truth, you no longer chase emptiness. You no longer return to what diminishes you. You move forward with clarity, with courage, and with a deep sense of liberation. You step into a life where your presence matters, your energy is honored, and your soul is free. This is not just survival, it is thriving. It is living in alignment with the truth of who you are. It is Zen. Take a moment and breathe. Feel the energy you have carried with you through this hour. Every thought, every reflection, every moment of awareness you've allowed yourself to experience has brought you here to this very presence, in this very moment. Remember this. You do not need validation from those who could never see your light. You do not need recognition from eyes that have been blind to your presence. Your energy, your heart, your life, they are sacred. They are yours to protect, yours to nurture, yours to give only to what honors them. Do not return to what ignored you. Do not step back into spaces, people, or situations that will diminish you. That energy you have given away so often, reclaim it. That presence you have tried to make visible, honor it yourself first. And when you do, something shifts. Slowly, quietly, powerfully, your life begins to align with truth, freedom, and peace. Your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it for you. No one else can define it. And as you step forward, you will notice the difference. People and spaces that truly reflect your worth, your energy, and your presence will come naturally into your life. You will no longer chase what is not meant for you, and you will no longer bend to the limitations of others. The neglect you have experienced is not your failure. The moments you were unseen do not define you. Every experience has been a teacher, every silence a guide, and every act of disregard a lesson in your liberation. Transformation is happening right now, and it begins with one simple truth. Your life, your energy, your presence are sacred, and they deserve to be honored. So, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is in your life at this moment, take this with you. You are enough. You are whole. You are seen, even when others fail to see you. And the freedom, the peace, the life that honors your light begins the moment you choose not to return to what diminishes you. Carry this truth. Live it. Protect it. and step fully into the life that is waiting for your presence, your energy, and your sacred light.